Hi, welcome to Laura Catalina, where we will be sharing for 20 minutes. The idea is to realize how the books influence our personal stories and how this inspire our daily life. It's a relaxed and honest place, but most important, is designed for us. So please make yourself comfortable, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Hello, how are you, amigos? Welcome to Laura Catalina. I'm super happy and excited to have just Tessa. Wait, oh, I already say the name of my guest. Well, you know her already. Everyone loves her. Tessa Vanassil, welcome to Laura Catalina again. Oh my God.
Woohoo! It's so strange to hear you speak English.
I speak English to you sometimes. A veces.
Hola, amigos.
Bien. Actually, the podcast will be in Spanish. So.
No.
Okay, no, never mind. We're gonna talk about an amazing book that this was a gift for you for your birthday.
Sí.
Say, así, happy birthday, Tessa. And then I read this book, and I'm so bad with the books because I have them on my bag and then with my bag everywhere. And I said to Tessa, sorry, your book is not that pretty anymore. Do you want me to buy you another one? And she said,
No.
exactly. Phew.
You have to buy me two now.
Yes, I will give you my list of my favorite albums. So, yes, Tessa, please let us know about this book, why this was a gift for you. Tell us everything.
Why it was a gift for me? Hello, everybody. We will talk today about the amazing book, and you all have to read it. Ask Laura.
Say, oof, 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 yes.
It's called Daring Greatly from Brené Brown. And actually, maybe a few of you already think, yes, I know that book. Or somebody told me I have to read it. Yes, they are right. You have to read it. The first time I heard of the book was, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to say 13 years ago. Anyway, let's forget that number. A long time ago. And I wasn't really interested because the girl was a little bit weird. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But then I got this as a birthday gift from one of my colleagues from 2 years ago. And it says
2 years ago already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Time goes fast,
Mm-hmm.
Soon you'll be 30. Anyway, it says, "Happy birthday, Tessa." That's me. I'm Tessa. I will be with you in the arena. You get it later, in between brackets. I loved learning about vulnerability and how it can help you see the world in a different light. Hope you love it. XX Jen. So I will have to explain you now what the arena means.
Exactly.
So it would be easier if you would all just read the book. I mean, it's a lot, but it's also about you as a person. It's honestly amazing. And you as a person, every day you walk outside and you walk into an arena because you go outside, you show yourself, you engage with people, and that is the arena, basically, or what she says. It is about being vulnerable, daring to show yourself. You get it? Daring greatly.
Exactly.
And it also reads on the cover of the book, I just realized, how the courage to be vulnerable transforms the way we live, love, parent, and lead. So there you go. It's about that arena, the lives we live, how we love. Maybe you already have a little baby or something, how you parent or how you lead. And yeah, that's what she kind of talks about. Laura, do you have something to say? Because you read the book too.
Yes, I read the book. I remember that I was in the bus reading the book, and
She texted me she was crying.
See, I was crying so many times, and I was sending pictures like, "Oh my God, this part and this other part." See, it's really good book, and I'm excited about this that we're gonna share. I think this is probably one of the most important messages for me in the
Mm-hmm.
book. So we're gonna read about that, and then we're gonna share some stories. Woohoo! We're coming back.
Shame derives its power from being unspeakable. That's why it loves perfectionists. It's so easy to keep us quiet. If we cultivate enough awareness about shame to name it and speak to it, we've basically cut it off the knees. Shame hates having words wrapped around it. If we speak shame, it begins to wither. Just the way exposure to light was deadly for the gremlins, language and story bring light to shame and destroy it. Just like Roosevelt advised, when we dare greatly, we will err and we will come up short again and again. There will be failures and mistakes and criticism. If we want to be able to move through the difficult disappointments, the hurt feelings, and the heartbreaks that are inevitable in a fully lived life, we can't equate defeat with being unworthy of love, belonging, and joy. If we do, we'll never show up and try again. Shame hangs out in the parking lot of the arena, waiting for us to come out defeated and determined to never take risks. It laughs and it says, "Ha, I told you this was a mistake. I knew you weren't enough." Shame resilience is the ability to say, "This hurts. This is disappointing, maybe even devastating. But success and recognition and approval are not the values that drive me. My value is courage, and I was just courageous. You can move on, shame."
It's so good, I think that last part when you are talking to yourself in this
Mm-hmm.
shame no shame thing, and oh, it's so interesting.
Yes. I think everybody of us lives with that, It's Brene Brown says it in the book as well, It's a human feeling to have shame.
Mm-hmm.
And she speaks about how shame is not like yeah, it's a personal thing, but the problem of shame is it is also a social thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot really battle it on your own. You need to have other people next to you who battle it with you.
Yeah.
And that is something that probably a lot of us struggle with. And that is why that piece of that I just read out loud was how you need to speak you need to speak shame. You need to admit it. This is how I felt ashamed. You need to be able to find somebody you can trust and talk to about
Yeah.
it, and just by talking about shame, it will already disappear.
Mm-hmm. And I think probably when you are a kid, I mean, I think that's why kids are amazing, because they are not ashamed of anything. They
Yeah.
are just living, and then we as society, as parents, we're like, no, that's incorrect, that's not
Mhm.
okay. And then probably because your parents are so important, you're like, oh my god, this is so bad, I
Yep.
shouldn't be doing this. So then it's something that starts like being with you forever.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so hard, because you were like, if my parents were saying no, if my parents were rejecting me,
Mhm.
the
Exactly.
yes, the society will be like, oh no, that's super bad. And
Yeah.
then when we have that courage of be ourselves again, it's like, wow,
Yes.
when everything
That is
changed.
mind blowing.
See, exactly. So Tessa, what is your story? And you're gonna tell us a little bit the difference between
Yes.
shame and guilt and
So
Mhm.
in the book, she talks about shame. Shame is, wait, I will say the differences first. You have shame, you have
Mhm.
guilt,
Mhm.
you have humiliation, and you
Mhm.
have embarrassment. And all of us know these words, and we know these feelings. The difference is how you um, oh, my English is gone now. That's with all the Spanish around here. It's more about the self-talk, like the words you use.
Mhm.
So with guilt, it is more about I for example, I am bad.
Mm-hmm.
Being bad is my core. It is my
Mm-hmm.
personality. I cannot, for instance, change that.
Yeah.
That is shame.
Mm-hmm.
Guilt, on the other hand, is I did something bad. It's like, oops, my bad. I'm so sorry.
But you are not the bad person. You
You
are
are not the
just
best. You
someone that do bad things.
accidentally
Yeah.
or not accidentally
Yeah, as well.
did something bad. The difference between those two, what they explain in the book, is that um, guilt has a positive note to it in the sense that you can change your behavior. You did something bad, you aren't something bad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you can still change. Ooh, I will never, like in the future, I will try and change my behavior and not do it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's guilt. Like you forgot to text a friend and you're like, oh no, she's going to be so upset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next time I will text straight away. Fine. Shame, on the other hand, is like, I am such a bad person. Why didn't I text her? Oh, this is horrible.
This always happened to me. Yes,
Yes,
because I'm such a bad
yes.
friend, whatever.
So that's the difference that you need to remember. And I think a lot of us sometimes misinterpret these feelings. And also, you hear people say, like, oh, at least when they are ashamed, they will change their way. And there is the thing that people who are ashamed will not change their way because they think they are that way.
Yeah.
They believe that that is their personality. And it's really hard to change somebody's personality.
By the way.
Then you have humiliation. Yeah, it's annoying. If somebody of your friends, calls you out, and in the middle of a group, and you're like, "Ooh, come on! Like, why are you doing this? That is so uncalled for," you know. But that is humiliation. It will be the other way if you say, "Oh yeah, I deserve that. That she calls me out in the group. Yeah, that's totally on me." No, it's not. So again, difference, shame, humiliation. And then you have embarrassment. And embarrassment is a little bit annoying, but it's also kind of funny in the end, like after a few years or something. I don't know. But it's something you can laugh with. And in the end, it's fleeting. You think, this happens to everybody. So,
like if you fall.
yeah,
and
exactly.
everything,
And I fall a lot,
yeah.
FYI. So I came to realize that for me personally, I have felt so much shame in my life. Oof. But everybody, all of you will say that. I'm pretty sure like over half of the people who are listening now will say, oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. So, that's embarrassment. We're all the same. And I remember this one time. So I think maybe I've said it already in previous podcasts with Laura that I might have had a not so nice relationship a few years ago. And actually, all of these things, shame, guilt, humiliation, and embarrassment, comes back. And it was like, how do I explain this? He would make me feel guilty if I couldn't do certain things, or he would humiliate me if I wasn't able to like pump up my bike, the tires of my bike or something. FYI, that is really hard. But at the time, for me, that brought up shame because I really thought I am worthless. I am useless. I cannot even pump up my bike's tires. I cannot even, I don't know, bake an egg properly the way he likes it. That's all on me, I'm such an idiot person, so dumb. Really, that's how I spoke to myself. Obviously that didn't help the relationship, and that didn't help the relationship with myself. I was so ashamed. And I remember one time, and here again it's actually humiliation, but at the time I literally thought it was me. I'm the idiot here. And I went to see him race. He had a cycling race, or however you call it, and I went there with my best friend to see him. And when he finished, he completely ignored me. Like, seriously,
What?
just I was standing in front of him, nothing. He just kind of went to his friends. I wasn't even there. I was standing next to his friends, not any acknowledgement that I was there. And my best friend said, "Oh my God, that is really humiliating. He just looks over you and doesn't acknowledge you're here. And you came here to see him. Like he asked you to come here, even."
What?
And at the time, again, shame. I thought, I'm useless. Like he doesn't. I'm not even enough to look at. But in the end, it was more, as I see now,
Mm-hmm.
a humiliating feeling, or I could have taken it as a humiliating feeling, but because I was so deep in myself, ashamed,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't kind of let that go. And the one thing with shame is that it's based on your own personal self-esteem, and that
Mm-hmm.
is so hard. I'm pretty sure we talked about that before. Um, so obviously, years later, shame is not really helpful when you're working or in any environment.
Of course.
It's so degrading for you as a person to like feel all crumbled, like, oh my God, I cannot come outside because I'm so stupid, and I'm this, and I'm so clumsy. And now what I try to do is actually think, oh, okay, yeah, that was embarrassing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not who I am. And okay, I might say some dumb things or do some dumb things. But in the end, is more about, oh, yeah, okay, that made me feel a little bit embarrassed, but it's okay. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people are embarrassed. But it's a work in process, to figure out, um, let's not get shame into our head. In the end, um, that's what I love about this book. She speaks about the arena.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also what my friend said, I'll see you in the arena. And
Mm-hmm.
I say to all of you, I will see you in the arena. Just show yourself who you are. Um, don't fear being judged or hurt or shamed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's something we all struggle with.
Yeah, and probably we don't know the difference, you know? And when I read this part, I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, of course, there's a big difference between someone you believe you are, you know, because the difference between to be and to do something, it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like it's like kind of the same, but it's not the same. Like here, what we're reading, no, it's not the same. I did something bad that I'm bad,
Yes,
because if
exactly.
not, you cannot change. And then probably if you have if in that moment you were feeling like, oh, like really bad, everything was, oh, it's not that I don't know how to do something, it's because I'm stupid that I cannot do it well, you
Exactly.
know. And then you cannot do anything.
Because it stops you from learning as well. If you feel
Yes,
ashamed,
yeah.
you don't want to develop, you don't want to learn because you think you are unable to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy, we can all learn. I mean, you can be a kindergarten teacher now and an electrician
Yeah.
tomorrow, we can all
Exactly.
learn.
But the thing is that you need to, yeah, overcome that feeling and start to do something different. And when you told me you're also gonna share a story, well, I was like, no, what I'm gonna share. But then I'm in this process of overcome that, and I was thinking that's shame, that's guilt. So we're gonna figure it out now, Tessa.
Okay, I'm ready, tell
I'm
me.
ready. So this driving thing, because
Oof.
oof, because I'm almost 30. I'm so old. Well, I'm 29, and I'm old to never drove before.
Uh-huh.
And what happened is that when my dad, because I think a lot of people, your dad is who teach you to drive, or
Yes.
and then there's a lot of problems because your dad is like, you cannot drive, or be careful, watch
Uh-huh.
out, blah blah blah. But my dad, when he was angry for me, was like, oh, it was scary. So when we try it, at the end was like, no,
No.
I was crying. My sister was also there, she was
Oh.
crying. My dad was like upset. So we were like, no. And then time passed, and then I had other boyfriends I didn't need to try. I was everywhere with my other friends, so I never had the necessity. And then I came to New Zealand, and I was already 20 something. And then I had a husband, and then the husband, oh yes, I'm gonna teach you. Then that never happened, and then I got divorced. Oh my god.
So she still doesn't drive, FYI.
Espera, no, now it's different. So then I was, 20, yes, that was this year, 29, and I said, it's enough. And sometimes you're thinking like, oh, I should start doing this, but in your mind it's like, no, I'm too old now. It's not a time now to drive. But then at the same time, it's like, oh my God, I'm so ashamed. I'm 20 something and I cannot drive. And that's something that is really important, because if any emergency, you need to do it. Or just because it makes you more independent or whatever. But the thing is that it was something that I had in my mind, but that I never really, I wasn't doing something to make it happen. What you're doing, yes, that will happen, that will happen. Like a lot of things happen in life like that.
Yeah.
You are just waiting to see, I don't know.
No, you need to learn.
Exactly. And then I say, okay, no, it's enough. And the first thing is say, no, I cannot drive. So then I need to see what I need to do. And then there was this great classes that was in Spanish and that we were a lot of people learning. And it was fun because we learned from the road code all together, playing games. And then I was like, because here you need to get 3 license, if you never say it's crazy. If you never got a license before. So now I have my learner driver license that is you just do like a theoretical exam. But for me, some people were asking me, oh, what are you doing on Saturdays? And I was like, oh, I don't want to tell that I'm taking these classes,
Really?
see, because it was like, but then I said, that's life. So yeah, no, I'm taking driving classes. Or dance people's, how you're gonna take, theoretical lessons. What's the point? And then it's like, well,
You have to know.
you have to know. And also, it's like, well, I want to do it. If it's not
course.
your fucking problem, bye. But it's all these things that it's probably something that you have learned by now. And it's like, no, well, it's something that I don't know and I'm learning. So probably was between probably shame of, oh my God, I'm so old now to learn this. But then I was like, I have done so many other things that probably people at my age haven't done. So it's not that I'm old or I'm too slow. It's just something that didn't happen before and now I'm doing.
Exactly. You didn't need it then, and now you
Yeah.
think, let's try this.
Exactly. So I'm in that process, and Julio is helping me, and he has been an amazing teacher. Yes. Tessa is gonna be my teacher of parking.
Oh. Well, yes, I'm really good at parking.
Yes. So yes, probably you have a lot of these stories, things that you never like share because you're like, oh my God, no. But I think we all have this, and we need to make this difference between feel shame and then understand that it's probably just something that we feel guilty about, or make that difference because then you feel so relief of that difference. No.
Yes, exactly. And it's not easy. It's shame can cripple us.
Yes, and then you don't do things because you feel so ashamed.
Yeah.
And then probably you start lying about things, and then it's a whole thing.
Exactly. Yes, I think it's best to talk about it, and not with everybody, of course. Okay, always there will be people in your life who will judge you, but that doesn't matter because the point is they are not in the arena. They are not showing their vulnerability. They are not you, so they can judge all they want.
Exactly. And I remember when we were in those theoretical classes, we were all ashamed, like sharing the stories because the teacher was like, okay, so who drove before? And some people, me, and some others, no, I tried it and then I almost crashed, or no, I tried it and I was so scared. And then you feel like, oh my God, I'm not the only one.
You're not alone. There
yes,
you
and then you were like, oh my God, this person is also like almost 30. Yay!
So don't you feel like less ashamed now, but more like, okay, a little bit embarrassed, but it's good, there's other people like you.
Exactly. And it's like that in everything, there's some other people that also, I don't know, have that phobia or that it's a scare about doing something. So yeah, it's like Tessa saying, you cannot be sharing with everyone like, you can share that with your friends or with some a family member or whatever,
or a therapist.
Oh yeah, that's a good option as well. So yes, this is our topic today, amigos. We hope you enjoy it. And now Tessa is gonna read something from the book, or you're gonna share something from your
I think
heart?
I will share something from my heart,
All
but it's not
right.
really like a written something. I will share a little secret.
Ay, Dios mío. Okay, amigos. So we're gonna share the little secret of Tessa, and then we're gonna come back to say adios.
I don't know how to explain this because it's really weird. And I talked to my therapist about this. Like, I'm doing this thing. Is this normal? So, whenever I come back in a situation of shame, I say that boyfriend's name out loud. So, doesn't matter, you know? Imagine me walking and I hit my head against a window that I didn't see. I would be so ashamed, you know? Like, I wouldn't be embarrassed. I would be ashamed because I would say, oh my God, I'm so clumsy. Why do I walk into this window? What is this window even doing here? And I would just kind of say out loud his name. And so I've done that for years. So I asked her, why is that? Why do I do that? Am I like sick? Is something wrong with me? Do I need to go to a shrink or something? And she says, no, it's actually quite normal. It is, my brain is wired now in a way that in every shameful situation that I encounter, I connect that to the previous time where I felt deeply, deeply ashamed, which was during my time with this guy, where I was always feeling ashamed, you know, not being worthy, not being good enough. So yeah, there you go. I keep saying my ex-boyfriend's name out loud in every embarrassing moment of my life, probably for all eternity. But it's normal. Apparently it's normal. So there we go. That's my secret.
Interesting, Tessa.
I know.
So, but what happened when people like, are next to you and they're like, why?
No, when there's people around me,
You say that out
it's
loud
in my
your
it's in my
your
mind.
Mhm.
It's in my mind. But sometimes when I'm alone, I kind of need to say it out loud to myself because it also triggers the awareness in me that oh, I'm saying his name, so why? I must be feeling really ashamed. And then I think about why am I feeling ashamed? Like what exactly happened? And then I go through all those steps. Is it really shame or is this something that, it's just a little stupid thing? Everybody does it, happens to anybody. It's nothing serious. Because feeling shame is, like we said, it stops you from doing anything. And I don't want that anymore. I don't want to feel like I'm being, kept small and that I can't, live my life. So somehow my brain is maybe like a release of shame, I would say. Like for me now it's a release of shame. Like I realize it, I say his name. Oh no. We're not doing this shame and guilt feeling anymore. Let's learn from this. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's so strange, no?
Yes. Yes, it is. Hi, amigos. We had a really nice time talking about this. Really, you need to learn. Yes, also learn the book. Once you read it, then you learn every single word of the book. I love it because it has some parts about Harry Potter. That's really nice. And if you don't like to read a lot, she also have some TED Talks on YouTube.
Yeah. I think one of her TED Talks is about the book Daring Greatly and is very, very famous. So there you go. Just Brené Brown on YouTube. You'll find it.
Exactly. Well, Tessa, thank you very much for always being in my podcast. This is a tradition, amigos. It's the only one in English, always. Pero sí, thank you. And I love your voice. I always love her voice when I'm editing. Oh, yes, so nice. Yes. The first time actually that you were on the podcast, I remember that Hulu said, "Oh, that Tessa has a really nice voice."
I remember the first time you were really sick and you had like that sexy nasal voice.
Ah, yes. I miss that. Bueno, amigos, thank you very much for listening to Laura Catalina, and we will we'll listen to each other in another podcast. Gracias, Tessa.
Thank you so much. It was really lovely, really fun.
Sí. Adiós.
Bye.